Then Isaac brought her into his mother Sarah's tent, and Isaac took Rebekah, and she became his wife, and Isaac loved her. That's from Genesis chapter 24, verse 67. You know, our culture is obsessed with romance. From the novels of Daniel Steele to the romantic comedies playing in movie theaters everywhere, we like to see two people discover each other and fall in love, overcome obstacles, and end up happily ever after. Unfortunately, when it comes to romance, the Bible is seriously lacking. If we set aside the Song of Solomon's, as which many people would like to do, we're not left with many good love stories. Yes, there are marriages, and there is sex and adultery and jealousy, but we rarely hear about two people falling in love and getting married. The closest that we get is probably this story of Isaac and Rebekah. Granted, theirs is basically an arranged marriage. Abraham wants his son Isaac to marry someone in the family, so he sends a servant to Nahor to find the right girl. It is the servant who first sees Rebekah and talks with her and asks her to come and marry Isaac. It is Rebekah's father and uncle who make the marriage deal, although Rebekah is given some freedom to choose. Isaac and Rebekah don't even see each other until the deal is completely done. But the romantic moment comes when Rebekah arrives in the Negev, where Isaac has settled. She sees Isaac and slips off of her camel and puts on her veil. And when Isaac sees her, he takes her as his wife, and he loves her. Not quite as riveting as Sleepless in Seattle, but it is still sort of sweet. Clearly, God's purposes are at work in this story. Although God is not directly managing the action, God's will seems to be that Rebekah marries Isaac. God is working to bring these two together, but there is indeed a plan that is still unfolding. And their love story might invite us to consider how God is involved in our own love lives. Do we invite God into our dating relationships or even into our marriages? Do we believe that God can guide us towards the right partner? While this story gives us an opportunity to reflect about romantic love and even about marriage, the truth is that the romance is not that important to the narrative. It's a nice detail that Rebekah and Isaac grow to love each other, but romantic love is not really at the heart of what God is doing in Genesis, nor even in our world today. We spend a lot of time and energy in our culture pursuing and discussing and obsessing over and celebrating romantic love. To be sure, romantic love is a wonderful gift that brings us joy, but it is just a small part of what it means to be married, and even a smaller part in what it truly means to love someone else. The love story between two people is only a glimpse of a much greater love story that God has with the entire world. The love that begins at home within our marriages and our families is both an anchor to our lives, but it is also a springboard that empowers us to go out and to love the world in God's name with God's love. This is good news. Amen.